You've gotten to where you are in your life and your career because of millions of people like me. Now, it's like we're nobodies.
You are crazy.
Just so we are crystal clear,
We don't want plus-size people to feel confident when we did not make the problem in the first place.
Someone made it.
So once your coconuts are grown, it is time to start producing milk.
You're absolutely sick. All right, boys and girls, we have come to reacting to woke TikToks. And the first couple I have here are in relation to Israel-Palestine, because who can prove the left will eat its own more than Dylan Mulvaney?
Videos for Dylan Mulvaney. If you're not Dylan, feel free to stick around. You know, I've never really had faith in celebrities speaking on important things, especially when it comes to oppressed groups of people and us common folks. But I had faith in you, and I'm talking a lot of faith. You've gotten to where you are in your life and your career because of millions of people like me. Now, I can only speak for myself, but Dylan, I stood 10 toes to the ground for you. Not because you're trans, and not because we're part of the same community, but because you are a human. For the last 2 years, I've tried educating people on normalizing differences, because you as a human deserve to live your life as the person you are. The person you are. Apparently, none of us knew who that person was. Your silence and refusal to speak on what's happening has truly been heartbreaking. Multiple times a day, I go to your account hoping that you just talk and speak on this, because you know the type of influence that you have. And nobody can say that you don't do political things because you as a trans woman sat down and spoke with the President of the United States. When, to be quite honest, there were way more qualified trans people out there to do that, but because of your influence, you were chosen. Millions of people spoke up and defended you, and like I said in the beginning, we are a major reason as to why you are where you are now. And now, it's like we're nobodies. You don't just assuming that your ethics are the same as mine, because why would you only stick up for one oppressed group of people? I am beyond disappointed in you. I have no issues blocking celebrities. You were the one person that I had faith in, and your silence speaks volumes.
There is just so much wrong with this video and this deranged lesbian. Silence is violence is bullshit. No one should ever have to speak on any political issue to not be disowned by someone or labeled all sorts of things by a community. And it goes to show that if you subscribe to wokeism, you better get on that roller coaster long term. You're not getting off that ride, because if you fail to subscribe to one of the beliefs, you are booted off. You're dead. So that is why I'm so glad I'm not in this anymore, because no one is safe from cancellation. And the fact that this deranged lesbian thinks that by being trans, you automatically have to support Hamas and an Islamic State. You are crazy. I'm afraid to say that I'm diagnosing you as crazy, right? She says, I go onto your page multiple times a day. Like, has he talked about Palestine? Get a life. Are you serious? And a celebrity, if you want to call Dylan Mulvaney a celebrity, let's use that term, public figure, as if someone like that is going to care that some lesbian in some random state is saying, I'm going to block you, you've let me down. This whole fangirl of celebrities and then feeling like you need to hold them accountable is so weird. If anyone ever does that to me, I'm going to react to your TikTok. Not saying I'm a celebrity. Clearly not. What's coming? Okay. This next one is a woke TikToker who drives me the most up the wall.
just so we are crystal clear, beyond a shadow of a doubt, at this point, no one is not informed enough to speak out. It's been 7 months. Instagram posts, infographics, journalists, horrific images, media coverage, TikTok accounts, viral videos, comments, tons of mutuals talking. No. Mm-mm. What they are is someone who doesn't care. Because it's been 7 months of a genocide that we have watched in 4K through our phones. The phone that most people that are content creators that are not informed enough make a living on. That same phone is where the movement has been happening. And this movement's not new. This movement is over 100 years old. You just don't care.
Bet he hasn't read that.
That's what it is. It's not that they weren't
There's no way
informed.
he's
They
read
just didn't
that.
give a and them for it. Them for it.
This person is so slimy and gross. I just would love to see what it's like being in his circle, or I'm pretty sure he's an actor, so on stage. Do people who have to be around this guy think he's a head wreck? Because if you don't, you should. If he's even an iota of what he's like in real life as he is in those videos, I don't know how anyone could stand being in the same room as him, because everything about that video was disgusting. Like the facial expressions, the nails. Chill out. Not everyone is going to have the same opinions as you. And it's so fun to see them squirm when they start realizing that they cannot control people. Even Dylan Mulvaney, who's been your soldier in command when it comes to all of these ridiculous Days of Girlhood videos. And it is quite joyful to watch them panic and squirm, scream and shout, have a tantrum when someone they thought was on their side is not supporting a terrorist organization. God forbid. All of this, you just have to throw your hands up and think how funny it is, in a sense. Facebook messages, infographics, videos, comments. Yes, you can create a lot of content and you can put a lot of information out there, but just because you put more and more information out there does not mean it's more likely for someone to buy into it. I'm sorry, you can post all the videos you want, post all the comments you want. It does, the volume of them or the amount of channels there are, it does not mean that then everyone has to get on board with it. Otherwise, it would be even easier to manipulate people. This next one is different, but similarly quite gross to watch.
And here we have it. The truth. JCPenney does not want plus sizes to sell. Here we are telling you that your stock is outdated, unorganized, and you're going to come into my comment section and continue to stand firmly in your selections. To stand firmly in your happiness with your selections. Even though your customers, the people that are buying or not buying those selections, are telling you that they are not very happy with them. But there's room for several sections and amounts of square footage for straight sizes, for appliances, but not for plus size clothing. You don't want to have room for that. You don't want plus sizes to sell. You don't want plus size people in your store. You don't want plus size people to feel confident. You don't want that. And I don't want you in my comment section, furthermore, gaslighting me or anyone else sharing their very valid grievances with you, with other clothing brands that have tried to make us the problem for years when they themselves are the ones that are the problem. And we will not continue to be made the problem when we did not make the problem in the first place.
I think she needs to see a doctor, because it seems like between phrases, she's having mini strokes. Is she aware that she's having mini strokes? In between, it's just so gross and so intolerable. How could anyone think they're going to upload a TikTok like that and everyone will be like, oh, what lovely content. The stare, I feel like she's going to come kill me with a stack of 6,000 of her calories for the day. Similar to the last one, silence is violence. If you're a clothing brand and you do not provide all the sizes I need, regardless of your profitability, you're the problem. You're trying to make me the problem. No, girl. It's called capitalism, and it is called producing products and the quantity of products that will return the most revenue. So if there is not enough demand for it, a company is not going to do it because they don't cater to your needs and lose profits just because you want to scream and shout about it. I'm sorry. You can eat all the McDonald's you want. It's not going to change it. But seriously, they tried to make us the problem for years. We did not make this. Someone made it. I don't think that clothing brand made all of that obesity, to be honest. I'm not here to shame someone. It must be really hard being that overweight. But the answer is not to then blame the world that you do not conform to my abuse of my body and me raising my chance of heart disease and diabetes. It's not the world's fault, honey. And it would probably do you well to try and aim for some of those straight sizes. Anyway, I'll stop impersonating her. Last one.
You know, it sounds crazy, but trans women can produce milk to feed a baby. Here's how. Step 1, you must grow your coconuts. After about 3 to 5 years of estrogen, you will have fully functional milk ducts from which you can feed a baby. So once your coconuts are grown, it is time to start producing milk. Now, normally getting pregnant would trigger milk production, but since trans women can't get pregnant, we must do it another way. Turns out this is not all that difficult to do. Just add a few extra hormones and supplements and pump your coconuts regularly, and you will start producing milk. Now, I can already see the criticisms, the comments coming through. There's no way this milk is safe to drink or nutritious or healthy, but it is scientifically proven to be. The one caveat is that a trans woman might not be able to produce enough milk to feed the baby, but what is produced is healthy and can always be supplemented with formula. Ultimately, the act of feeding your child yourself is affirming to anyone, not just trans people. It also helps the child form a secure attachment to their parent. And for the record, I have no interest in having kids or producing milk. I just think it's cool that you can do this in the first place.
Yeah, you just have an interest in getting clicks because this person, you've all seen him before. He made one video where he started equating his gender surgery to different types of food. And then, of course, those have gone huge. So then he's just doubled, tripled, quadrupled down because he goes to where the views are. And it's that simple. You should not be a parent if you are male and you are ingesting a whole bunch of chemicals and artificial hormones in order to produce a little bit of breast milk. That is not about the child. I will never be okay with this. I will never, ever, ever think this is appropriate. It is so disgusting. He is obviously an AGP, autogynephilic. Lots of them have fantasies about lactation. There's no long-term research on this. And even if it was 100% safe, just because something is possible doesn't mean we should do it. And for any trans woman out there doing this to affirm their identity, you're absolutely sick. Don't know if you know this gal Naomi. I should probably drag her at some stage because she's all for that. He, she, whatever. Too far.